And then I have this little portable shelf or drawer container thing, probably from Sterlite, where I keep some other things as well. And then some binders. Now, this binder here, this is it's a photo album. And I am in the process of putting all of my, like, Tim Holtz people, the little paper dolls, and other people that I fussy cut out, and other things in this photo album. So when I first got it, the original pages, these little magnetic things, they didn't work very well. They were too old. So I ordered a new set, and these are working great. And also they're non-acid, so that they won't damage the paper dolls. Right now, the way I have them is in these little takeout containers. I don't really like flipping through them because I feel like they get damaged a little bit every time I do. But I do have them in here by size and by gender, or if there's groups. So, I mean, it's been working pretty well. It's nice and handy right next to my, well, it's right on my craft table. And so I have several of those little takeout containers for storing, you know, different types of fussy cuts like birds and floral. I do have some feathers in there as well. And then this little tray pops out. So I've got all my alcohol inks in there. And that works actually pretty well, as long as I don't get the space in front of it filled up with stuff as I'm working on a project. Okay, so we're at my craft table now, and I'll show you some of the things that I'm doing here. This is the Frosty the Snowman journal that I'm working on. Now my husband, move this light a little bit out of the way. My husband made a couple of these for me, for my inks and also for my sprays. So these are made out of Dollar Tree crates. And if you go to Dollar Tree to find these crates, take your ink with you, because not all of the crates are exactly the same size. In fact, we had to order these. So I did see a video on a gal that made these, and we kind of copied that same thing, but we did have to order the little crates from Dollar Tree to make them work. And then he put it on a little Lazy Susan stand. And so now I've got all of my distress inks in here. And then he also put this together for me, this little organizer, which we bought the organizer from Amazon. And then again, we got these little crates, and he made, let's get my hand out of the way. He made these little drawers by using the clothespins that you get at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to turn a light on so maybe you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So you can see the clothespins in there. And that's what the little drawers ride on. And the drawers, again, are made just out of the little Dollar Tree crates that he stained and put together for me. He's awesome. He helps me out so much. And then I have these little cases that I got from Michael's, and each one has its own little thing. Like this one is full of words that I can choose from. And then I've got vintage postage and Tim Holtz floral, just some different things that I can have handy right here on my table. And then some little smaller pads of paper. And then these are DVD or CD cases that I've got some different things in. And those we just had laying around the house that I repurposed. Now these are from the Dollar Tree, and these hold all my smaller distress inks and oxides. And they work really, really well. So I've got a couple of those. And then just some random little things that I got at thrift stores, little boxes to hold things. Here is the other little Lazy Susan thing that my husband made for me, and he didn't put any of the little clothespins in here because I wanted them for my spray inks, and because every time I turned it around, they would fall out. I wrapped it around with this ribbon, and it's easy to get them in and out, but they stay inside. And then I decorated it a little bit, and then my paintbrushes are on top here. And I've got some more over here. This is how I film. So I put my phone on top here, and then I can film whatever I'm doing on my desk. And then, so my husband made that for me as well. And he put some pegs in it so that I can, these are just old thread spools that I covered and glued some ink pads on top. And then they just fit down there like that. Okay, moving along over here. You can see I am using every inch of space that I possibly can. So this is a Keurig, one of those Keurig drawer unit things. And I found it at Value Village, and it's been perfect for me to have like all of my distressed glazes in, and embossing powders, and my washi tape, and then just some other miscellaneous things that I can reach in and grab. So this has been really, really useful. And then I've just got one of these little Lazy Susans on top for all, you know, glues and things like that. All of my little, whatever these things are, little pliers and punches and some scissors, my brayer, you know, some of my pokey tools, paper towels, because you definitely need paper towels. And then over here, I have another Lazy Susan that's a little harder for me to reach when I'm sitting at my table, but I can reach it if I reach through like where that lamp is, that light. And then I've got like my distress pearls, not distress pearls, liquid pearls, and Mod Podge, and you know, just things that I use pretty much all the time. Okay, so underneath, my knee out of the way, I have my heated tool, and then my husband put a one of those power strips here, so I've got, you know, everything that I need to have plugged in. And then a little safety strip on the floor to keep me from tripping on it. And then I've got this little rolling cart. It's just a plastic milk crate that my husband made a little rolling cart for. And I've got in here papers that I use a lot when I'm crafting. Like, for example, all of my coffee dyed and different kinds of dye, like turmeric and beet dye and stuff like that. Papers are down here, and doilies, and just some miscellaneous stuff that I pull from all the time when I'm crafting. It's nice to have it here, so if I'm using a certain type of paper pad, then I can bring the whole paper pad over here, and then I've got it for the duration of the project. Okay, on this side is where my first bank of drawers, and you can see this one doesn't fit all the way because I think when we put this back together after we put my craft room back together, one of them got put together upside down or something. I don't know, but anyway, that doesn't go in all the way, so I'm just living with that. So in this one, I just have my baby wipes and just some miscellaneous things that I'm working on for music boxes. And I have my stamp pads down here in this one that are not my distress inks, but just different kinds of stamp pads. And then I also, I just have some different stamps. These are ones that I don't use very often, but so I put them here in this drawer. But the rest of my stamps, I took off of the blocks and put them in these cases that I got from Michael's. So this is alphabet uppercase and letters 5 through 9. So these are all in here by alphabetical order. And then I've got some Asian themed stamps, birds, butterflies. So I don't keep them together by brand. I know a lot of people do, but that doesn't mean anything to me. What I want to know is I want some heart stamps. So I don't want to have to look through 15 different brand packages to find the one heart stamp that I want. So all of my heart stamps then are in here. And I do have a video on how I did all of that, and that's one that I will link below. And I've got floral. Now I've got some that were too small, or there were too few of them to warrant a big case like this. So I went and got some of these little cases, and these work really well. So these are, mostly children oriented. There's some like Winnie the Pooh and things like that in there, Wizard of Oz. And then there's some celestial. I call it celestial. Oh, these are still on their stamp box because they were too small really to take off, and there were so few of them I just went ahead and put them in there. But keys and locks, like, there's just a few of these in here. So these work really well as cling stamps, and I'm really happy with the way those came out. Much more user friendly. And then here's some more. These are DVD cases that I had, and these are all acrylic stamps. And I did, like I said, I did do a video on how I organized these. Now it looks like the labels are coming off, and that is because we found some of the label tape at Value Village and bought it, and it doesn't work very well. I just have like all of my little, like these are my little bulb pins, and I've got some charms, photo corners, book plates, brads. There's brads back here, little flowers. And then this is just a hodgepodge of like general office-y type stuff. So I've got some, what are these called? Oh, reinforcement labels, and I got some tape for my Dymo labeler, extra blades for my cutter, and tape, and then one of my Dymo labelers is here. Got another one, and a couple of punches that didn't fit in any other drawer. And in this drawer are some punches. I don't use punches a lot, but they're nice to have, but they take up a lot of room and they're really heavy. So I'm trying not to accumulate too many more punches. And then down here I have paints, watercolor paints and color pencils, watercolor pencils, some extra like foam brushes and sandpaper. And then down here I've got more paints in these little drawers. Oh, that's not a paint. That's more distress spray that didn't fit in my in my little container, my little Lazy Susan. But I've got some metallic paint in just different colors, bunch of different tapes and adhesives. And then down here I have a bunch of beads and what are these things called? Oh, eyelets. They're called eyelets. I also have this rolling little desk thing right here, and I use that when I'm in the middle of a project to put some of the things I'm working with on there to keep it off of the top of my desk. And then I've got my husband put it on a really nice, or he created this little platform for it on the bottom so I can have my recycle bin and a little wastebasket there. Okay, over here I have it's a jewelry organizer, and I have a lot of broken jewelry that I've collected, and I needed a place to store it. So that's where all of this stuff is ending up. So it's nice and handy, very close to my desk, so I can, you know, take things apart and then put it back in the drawer it came from and find it easily. So that was another Facebook Marketplace find that I'm pretty happy with. Now, it's going to get painted eventually, but I didn't have time to do it before we had to put everything back in the craft room. Now, in my closet, this is a very useful setup. It was not useful before. It was something that I just sort of dealt with. I found this dresser. It's an IKEA dresser. I found it at Goodwill, and I painted it and put new knobs on it from Hobby Lobby, and then ordered some of those rub-on transfers to put the transfers on. And they were very tedious, but they worked well. And what I keep in here is fabric. So fabric that I use for making journal covers or whatever. I do still like to sew. So, you know, clothing. So I've got all kinds of different fabrics that I can use. And these are, again, stuff that I find at Value Village, estate sales, garage sales, etc. So this is mostly clothing type fabric down here. Very nice dresser, and it's on wheels. And then these containers, they were clear bins. They each have labels on them. They are Dollar Tree labels that I put on wallpaper that I cut out on my Cricut to make hearts. So this one up here is lace and linens, and then there's interfacing, then there's table linens, and vintage ephemera in this bottom one. And then down here I have placemats, paper doilies, and calendars. And when I first bought these, they were clear, but when I put them in, I didn't like it. So I covered them with contact paper that I got from the Dollar Tree, and then wrapped it with some lace ribbon that I had a whole bunch of, and then put the labels on it, and I think it looks really pretty. And then I've got a bunch of baskets with different things like glues and patterns, and so lots of other stuff is in here. There's book pages and maps, lace and doilies. I think I moved you too fast there. Mailers and bags, and Cricut cartridges that I don't use anymore. Okay, over here I have more book storage, and it's also organized like I showed you on the other side. So everything is labeled. Zoom in here a little bit. So I've got English language, toys and dolls, Beatrix Potter, children's books. I have a nice collection of little golden books that I'll probably never finish in my lifetime making journals out of, but they're like napkins. I can't resist them. So just a bunch of different things that I can draw from. And then down here, back up so you can see it better. These are the rest of my storage cubes. And I did do a video last year on how I organized my paper. That has not changed. I will go ahead and link to that video so you can see that. But it's very, very nicely arranged. So I've got, these are solid papers. As you can see here where it says solid papers. And then these are all in, you know, different colors. So a lot of times we'll take a paper pad apart and take things out of it, like the solids and the patterns and things like that, unless I want to keep the paper pad together because it all has a unifying theme. So some of those are together. And I have these little containers. These have receipts, receipts, time cards. I've got some dot matrix cards, blank note paper, planner pages, and then different kinds of paper. So each one of these little compartments has a different kind of paper. And it has made it so much easier for me to find things and when I'm crafting. But if you want to find something right away, like graph paper, for instance, well, here's my whole section of graph paper right here, or lined paper, or lined notebooks. And then I've got some vintage record keeping type stuff there where I've got some old ledgers and old calendars. And then my ridiculous napkin collection is right here. So these two drawers are full of napkins from Dollar Tree and different places that I just cannot walk past. Some come from cute little like gift shops and things like that. If I find a real cute pattern for napkins, I'll use it. Sorry, the lighting in here isn't very good, but I do use these, so I really enjoy it. Okay, and then up here, this is where I keep things that I don't necessarily want to put on a shelf. Like this particular bin. These are Dollar Tree bins, by the way. Just regular Dollar Tree fabric bins that I decorated with some Dollar Tree burlap with lace on it that I haven't been able to find. And then some Dollar Tree flowers. So it's Dollar Tree all the time. So this is work in process, which is what this little designation is. And this is everything that I put together that I want to put, that I want to use my, or, you know, use for my Frosty the Snowman journal. And what I'll do is I'll just go through and I'll just start collecting different types of things that I might want to use and putting it in this work in process. So the kinds of things that I like to put in my work in process bin is just like little bits of ephemera or doilies or napkins, you know, anything that I might be able to, you know, that I think might work in a particular journal. And I might not use all of this stuff, but it's just stuff that I'm, you know, thinking might work. So that's my little work in process basket. And the next project, we'll get it, you know, I'll take all that stuff out and put it away and then make a new work in process basket for whatever it is I'm working on. And then back over here, I've got, these are covers that I've started to put together so that I have the next project that I want to do. I've got some National Geographic magazines. These are some vintage books of papers and cards. This magazine bin is all of my Victoria magazines, and I have them in order by date and year so that if I want a winter theme, I can go to like the December, January part. This one is also some more covers that I put together. And then in this one, I've got envelopes, manila envelopes. I've got this little box of tags that I found at a thrift store. So they're small, but they're pretty useful. Okay, so I think that is my whole craft room, you guys. This is my desk where I put things to, you know, do some other work on. My kitty and my table. Oh, I've got stuff on this side of the table as well, where I keep things that I don't necessarily get into all the time, but I will show you some of it. I've got these boxes in here, and they each have a top. The top is on the bottom. It just makes it so that when I pull it out, it's more like a drawer. But I kind of work on things in stages. So down here at the bottom, I call that raw materials. Okay, so I pull this out, and I've got just a bunch of junk. You know, Altoids tins and things that I might want to take out and make something out of later. I mean, we make junk journals, right? So it's appropriate to have a junk drawer, and that's what that is. Okay, and then in this one, I've got things that I've kind of started. Oh boy, the lighting in here is just terrible. I really apologize for that. These are just things that I've started working on, or that have, you know, advanced to like a different stage, I guess, of development. So I call those bases. These things are more in process or experimental. And these are things that I could pull out and put in a journal. So tags and little booklets and belly bands, things that I've made that I can put into a journal that are basically complete. Okay, so that's the extent of my craft room. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, I apologize for the lighting. There's just not a lot I can do about that. I hope you got maybe some tips that you can use in your own craft room for how it's organized. It's been working really well for me, even better than the last time I organized it, which was a huge improvement over how it was to begin with. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope you'll watch the other videos in the collaboration. And happy crafting, everybody. So have a great rest of your day, and let the serendipity find you. Have a great day, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.